just so lost.
Yeah, like we just saw this video with Taraji P. Henson. We got that video?
Yeah, it's just like the
The
typical.
stupidity amongst black liberal women, man, and brainwashing people that look up to them, especially they're stars. People listen to them.
Well, that's what I
y'all-
say. There's an infrastructure built to like just keep the black.
Yeah,
Like,
y'all got that video of
100%.
Taraji?
Yeah, this is crazy.
You know why black people run away when we laugh? Because we weren't allowed to laugh on those plantations. This is stuff that lives in us, y'all.
Crazy.
This ain't nothing new, y'all. That's why y'all going, oh, what? Yeah, it lives in us. That doesn't just go away like she said.
Crazy.
And if we don't start unpacking it seriously, it will also be the end of us.
What slaves experienced on the plantation is passed down onto your
Genetically.
No, they jumped, bro. They jumped over all these free black people,
Right.
to go back to slavery. I
Right.
don't understand. Like when you talk about the people, Madam C.J. Walker and some of these people who were highly successful after slavery, Frederick Douglass. I mean, you go down the list, Booker T. Washington, all these men and women who were highly successful after slavery, built stuff. The Black Harlem in Tulsa. You got I forget the Renaissance, the Harlem Renaissance. You go down the list of all this black success. I didn't even know that when Rosa Parks sat in the back of the bus, or she refused to sit in the back of the bus, that the black people had a bus line already. They were doing the same thing that Black Lives Matter is doing today. They would stage these controversial situations to get an agenda passed. I didn't know black people already had their own bus.
I didn't know that either.
Here's another thing.
They wanted the white bus today is better.
Right. Just like you can see them, they talk about it when they integrated schools. I forget the young lady. I should be ashamed of myself. It's the young girl that was escorted by the National Guard to school in Little Rock. Little Rock.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I forget you.
Yeah, I forget that. I can't. Now I got Google. I can look it up.
Yeah.
But the young girl in Little Rock, so she's a grown woman now. She gave her testimony how she used to be at a black school, and then she was suggested to go in the integrated school. They had black schools and black teachers that could teach black curriculum, but instead they were trying to go to white schools and integrate in white schools, and then they mad because their history is not replicated. So these things to me, and even Harriet Tubman, people never. I took Africana Studies in college, and I didn't know this until more recently. I did not know Harriet Tubman was married. Did you know she was married? Did you know her husband?
Somebody actually married her? The pictures I saw her, she was so up. She looked crazy in those pictures.
So she was married. People think she was out on the plantation, get beat over the head, and then one night she just snuck out. That's not what happened. She was married to a black man who was free. He was a free man. They lived together.
What?
Yes, they lived together. You can look it up. Do the research. Her husband was free. She had a job. Now, her husband did not agree with her to start the Underground Railroad. So she decided to do it anyway. Thank God she did. I thought it was an honorable thing to do.
Right.
But they don't tell the story about her real life. They don't talk about the fact that the first black slave owner in American history, legal slave owner, was Anthony Johnson, a black man. They don't talk about the fact that hundreds of black men owned black slaves.
Right.
They also don't talk about the fact that in the past, voting was based on property ownership or land ownership. Right. And a lot of black people own land and some white people didn't. And so black people could vote when white people couldn't.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they removed the rights for blacks to vote and then gave it back. So people like this idiot that act like she know what happened on a plantation. They couldn't laugh on a plantation. So they act like she know, like she was there.
Right.
They laugh and they go, I damn whoop them. You can't be laughing while you working. that I don't know if that happened like that. And there was different slaves, man. Everybody wasn't out on the plantation. There was the house Negro. Yeah. Then there were slaves that were like servants. They were driving. They were chauffeurs. They would drive around and do things like that. Of course, slavery was a horrible thing.
Right.
And there were slave owners that abused their slaves. Right. But there were some that didn't abuse their slaves because they needed them to work. They went out and auctioned and paid all that money for them. They ain't just beat them. They can't work. Yeah. Right. So it was a plethora of different experiences that occurred. But this idiot probably making a ton of money.
Yes, yeah.
Lives in us.
She claiming she don't make enough money because she's black.
These people. This is what's wrong with black people.
Yeah, I know.
Two things. One is unforgiveness. Because I'm a big believer in forgiving people. And the black community has never forgiven white people from slavery. Yeah. They still hold on to that. White people that moved on. Everybody else that moved. Mexican moved on. Chinese people that moved on. Jews that moved on. Right. Black people still holding on to that.
Only people talking about it is black people.
Only people still complaining we live in the greatest country on planet Earth, bro. You can't look at us, man. We black and we successful.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want if you put your mind to
Right.
it, and everything ain't gonna work. Everybody ain't gonna be a billionaire.
Yeah, I think life is based on relationships.
Right.
That's the biggest thing about life, man. If you can build relationships, you can have a successful life. Without relationships, you can't do anything. I don't care what you know. That's why we became so successful with relationships. And you got to have a work ethic.
You got to have an objective perception of the world too.
Right.
You looking through a racist lens, you are screwed. Because I lived like that. Because we voted Democrat. I voted for Al Gore.
Voted for Clinton.
I remember standing in line voting for Al Gore. I was waiting like 2 hours because I thought Bush was racist. Yeah. That's the only reason why I was voting.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. And I remember we got there, right? They say, you got an ID? See? He asked for ID. Because I'm black.
He knows who I'm voting for.
He knows who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
I don't blame him now looking back on it. Look at this.
But see, I don't think that y'all crazy or stupid or ignorant for doing it. It's just that brainwashing. That's why it take people like us to like get the word out there, even with a comedic relief, to get people in tune. Because I used to follow y'all before y'all were political.
Fitness.
When y'all were doing the fitness stuff, talking about she like to suck me off.
I'm trying to get sucked
You
off.
got sucked off.
I remember,
I'm going to leave them nuts hanging out.
I remember before my mama passed away. Keith and Kevin, y'all stop all that damn cussing on YouTube.
You got your uncles, your cousins, everybody watching y'all.
And
That
then you know
was
what's
funny.
crazy? My sister's pastor was looking at us.
Oh, my goodness.
I felt when I walked into that black church, I felt so uncomfortable. I felt like I had a pitchfork.
Well, he made me feel good because he said, I love you guys. That's what the pastor said.
Right.
That's funny though. But the progression will happen if people stay consistent and open minded. Unfortunately, it's just the trauma. Like you say, that woman, she say slavery is passed down with us or whatever the case may be, or it's in us. No, these dumb people keep passing it down to other people, which is the problem for the next generation. Her children and the children of those people, they don't have a chance.
They don't.
Because racism is taught, man. When you're young, man, you don't care who you play with. My kids out there playing with everybody.
It's learned.
They teach them, and you learn, and the kids learn that, and they become their focal point. They become their reality.
Right.
And it's hard to shake that until you get older and you begin to get life experience. You start working on jobs. You start getting exposed to other people.
Right.
Like I was racist. I was racist against white people when I was growing up. Until I got to college.
I was too.
Because I thought they were all, hate black people. And I started thinking about slavery. I'd never forget this. When I took Africana Studies in college, we had to take, what was it? It was Africana Studies 101. We started talking, it was the introduction to lynching. And bro, I was hot.
Yeah.
One white girl in the class.
Yeah.
And guess the question I didn't know that there was lynching in the country. Every black person in there was like, heck no, man.
Yeah.
Your privilege that you don't know there was lynching in the country.
Right.
But after that, dude, I was infuriated. I hated white people. It made me hate white people more.
Man, if I was you, I'd have got her number. I'd have gave her the black experience.
Hey, but that's something you mentioned that. I remember growing up and my mama was really into anything that was about racism. I remember when Roots came out. Remember Roots?
Yeah.
We was watching Roots. You see that? Keep them calm. Look at them. Look at the white people. Look what they do to us.
They blue-eyed devils. Look at them.
Yeah.
That's a devil right there.
Yeah.
I remember, and I would go to school after watching that. but I understand where my mom was coming from because she was traumatized. She grew up in the Jim Crow South. Yeah. So I hated white people. Yeah. I liked the women though. But I couldn't stand white people, man. Yeah. And then, but I started getting some white friends, and it was crazy. Like I had white friends, black friends. Like white friends, we playing kickball. Yeah. We out there playing baseball and stuff, right? Then I hung out. Yeah, then we let's go for a merry-go-round, right? Then I got some black friends, and we just walking the streets. We just walking. I said, "Where y'all going, man? We just walking. We walking, right?" And then we was walking. Say, "Man, let's go hit the store over there." So they walk in, and all of us. Well, not me. I was just standing there. As soon as we walked in, all the black people scattered like roaches, like somebody turned the light on. Right? And I was like, what everybody doing, man? I go around the corner, they just stealing. They stealing. Right? I was like, hey, man, then they run out. Yeah. And then it was an Asian guy that had the store. He was calling us all kinds of You can't blame him. Right? So we go running off of the streets, and they eating all these chips and candy. I say, hey, man, let me get some. He said, man, get your own, man. But that was my experience with, my black friends.
I remember one day after basketball practice, the point guard of the team robbed me at gunpoint.
Yeah, he put a gun on us.
Put a gun on me.
dang.
We was in 6th grade.
That's insane.
We was going to practice.
He was a 6th grader?
Yeah, we was in like
Oh,
6th grade.
he
We
was
was in
high
middle
school?
school.
Yeah, middle school.
Was he high school? He was in 6th grade.
No, he was in 6th
with
grade.
a gun.
With a
Right?
gun.
We going to practice.
That's insane.
Comes up to us and sticks a gun up to Kelvin. Kelvin's like, hey, give me some money. I said, man, I ain't got no money. I'm poor as hell. You a fool if you robbing me. So, but the basketball coach saw it. Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So next day, I'm in the room with the
At
basketball
school,
coach.
at the principal's office.
Name was Mr. Haley, and then there was this white man right there. He said, "What happened?" That white man was looking at me and said, "Man, if you say anything, you probably gonna die."
Really?
He had this look on his face, and Mr. Haley said, "Go and tell him it's okay, Kevin. Go ahead and tell him." I said, "Yeah, that dude Woods, he robbed me."
Yeah, he put a gun to me.
Yeah.
He got expelled and everything.
That's since the 6th grade, bro.
That was 6th grade.
That's insane.
And I can go on about all my experiences with my white friends. Like the worst thing I did with my white friends, they took me to a farm and we was trying to cowtail.
Black
My black
friends
friends-
say, "Look, we're gonna rob the pizza man."
It's a vacant house over there. We're gonna call Domino's over there. When he come down, I'm gonna come up with this bat and we finna eat. I mean, that was
Commit
just
some felonies.
yeah,
right?
that was my experience.
And same with me, man. I got arrested for smoking marijuana in a vacant house when I was, how was I? 8?
Yeah.
I think I was 8.
Oh yeah.
And my brother was 10.
Mhm.
But then our cousins go all the way up to 17. So it was all of us in there. And we were smoking weed. We were smoking weed way back then. I'm talking about blunts. We wasn't just smoking a little joint. My cousin rolling blunts.
Yeah.
And we end up hanging out with them. My daddy, because they were poor. And my dad, we were like kind of like they called us rich, but bro, we were like lower middle class at that point.
Right.
And so my daddy used to give us a little $20 bill so we can eat when we stayed with them over the weekend because they had no money.
Right.
And so they had a little.
Yeah, y'all was rich.
Yeah, $20 for the whole
$20.
weekend. And bro, back then the little chicken house, they had the bro, fries this big, whole tray of fried $1.
Right.
And so you know
back
we
in the
had
day, I remember buying a loaf of bread for 50 cents.
we had plenty to eat. But my cousin used to take the money and go buy weed.
Right.
And then give us a change. And I don't know how much that weed cost. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, he come back and give us whatever we
He
got.
took half your shit.
Half of it gone. Had weed from last time, and he just took our money. But you know, that's the experience I had, man.
I think a majority of the reason why we had those experiences with our black friends, none of them had fathers.
Yeah. I didn't recognize at the time, but all my black friends, they didn't have I had a dad. We had a dad. But they didn't have no father figure in their life. And I think that's what it had to be.
Yeah, all my friends that did poorly in life, they didn't have a father. Their father was nobody,
Right.
selling drugs and really not an example. Or you know, I tell you the worst. Another thing that's right on that fatherless thing is the women I dated. Because when I got to college, I'll just be honest, bro. When I got first of all, I was around nothing but black people, right?
Yeah.
And so. Especially going to Paul Laurence Dunbar, everything was Afrocentric to me. I never date a white girl. They ugly, flat booty, they can't dance, they got no swag. That's what I thought going to college.
Yeah. Right.
I went to college and it blew my socks off. I'm like, I don't know what they feeding these girls up here.
Yeah.
But the white girls was fine.
Yeah. Without the attitude.
Without the attitude. And here's the thing, bro. I end up having a kid with a girl when I was in college. And my son, he's 13 now, a great kid. But the girls that I dated from the time I started having dates and relationships, all the black girls didn't have a father, bro. The first girl I dated, and she was, I don't even know if I can say that. I mean, I don't know if I should say that on this thing. The first girl I dated, I lost my virginity at 16. This girl was a freak. And I wasn't into it, right? I was nervous. You know, my brother.
You was Christian.
Bro, kinda. Weekend Christian.
Right.
But bro, I was shy. I was shy, bro. I wasn't trying to. My brother was different. He was a different world, bro. He all out there. I remember one time, bro, I lied.
Right.
You know, because I was a virgin. You know, I don't know if it's just black community. It's probably all communities. They encourage you, bro, you a virgin. Like you gay or something if you a virgin.
Right.
And so I felt the pressure, bro. So I remember lying when I was in the 9th grade, lying to my brother. And I'm like, I just picked some random girl that I know they'll never talk to. I'm like, yeah, she came over the crib, man. I hit that. And so, but when this situation happened, this girl was like fast, bro. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why, and it's very unfortunate. But she was fast, bro. And my brother was dating her older sister. And they left me in the car with her, and my brother went in the house. And this girl took advantage of me, bro. And I didn't, you know, I didn't. I was like, all right, I got, you know.
He took advantage of you.
I
Made you get in a race.
She
Forced you to get in a
forced
race.
it. She caused an erection. All right.
Right, man. That must have been horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. I still got trauma from that experience.
You was at 16. You lost your virginity?
16.
We was damn near 19.
Really? Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, me and Kevin was
Not really,
shy.
man.
Why not?
If I had a time machine, I'd do so many. I've been going up to all these white girls. I thought these white girls hated me. These white girls wanted to kill me. Because my mama had traumatized me. That's a white devil over there. Yeah. But you know what? A lot of this music nowadays, I think, is replacing like mothers, fathers, especially this rap culture.
Yeah.
100%. Because who you like more? Your daddy that go to work every day and lame, or a homeboy that's a dope boy with all his money and jewelry and seem popular, famous, got all the women.
Exactly. I see every kid nowadays, they dress just like a rapper.
Right.
The modern day black kid or mother, female growing up, they're being raised by rap culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the Beyoncés of the world and they don't realize that Jay-Z and them can get away with having branches in his head, that ugly hair he be doing, because he worth billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Beyonce can get away with looking like a skank on camera.
Exactly.
Because they got so much money. What they don't realize that when you broke, you can't be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't just dress like these fools and then go on the job and think they're gonna give you opportunity. Yeah. You gotta make yourself, you got to get yourself to a point of being wealthy for you to even be like that. But then also, these people ain't really who they act like they are.
Right.
Rick Ross used to be Rick Ross
marketing.
Rick Ross used to work at the jail.
Yeah, correction officer.
He used to be a correction officer. How you go from boss? You were a correction officer. When was the drug dealing occurring? I just want to know. You were grown in that picture, and now you all of a sudden was a kingpin.
Yeah.
So, and these dudes, they go live a lavish life. They live in a white neighborhood, in a gated community with security and all this stuff, and they still act like they gang banging.
Yeah.
But the young boys take it and eat it up, and they really gang banging. And dudes that's really doing it are doing time right now.
Yeah.
If you really thugging like that, you doing time.
Yeah. You think we could change this? Because they already demonize us.
Look, bro, we can change. We can change. Like it's like the Titanic, man. It's sinking. You just gotta try to save as many as you can.
Yep.
There is people that can be saved. Like we all woke up, bro, and now we have platforms. Millions of people hear content like this, and just imagine if y'all didn't wake up, me, Candace, and some other people with big platforms.
Right.
So it's a possibility that people are waking up from like us waking up.
Can't save them all though.
Can't say you ain't, man. You ain't. I don't know if, like I said, I think the community harboring unforgiveness, they can't be blessed by God. I just really believe that. I think that the turmoil and all the things that are happening to black people, they are not blessed because they hold on to resentment and unforgiveness. And that's what's happening to them. Everybody else that moved on, man. Jewish people, like I said, everybody else flourished instead of black people.
Right.
And people can't get mad at us and say, y'all just talking about black people. Look at the numbers, bro.
Yeah.
The murders in this country, half of the murders in this country, or I see statistics
Which is
say over half.
crazy because we make up less than 13%.
Then you got to break it down further than that. 13% is everybody.
Yeah.
Then you got to say you go half is men, half is women.
Right.
But then even half of it, let's just say about 6%, you still got older people in their 70s, 60s, and you got little kids.
Right.
They ain't the ones killing. It's between 16 and like 32 years old that the killing is happening, which is like 1%.
1% of the population.
A population is
They account for 50% of the violent crime.
Over half of violent crimes, about half of the murders. Now, let's put this in perspective because the murders that occurred throughout the year, I don't know, 12,000 murders. I mean, 300 million people in this country. But the thing is that the violence that is occurring and the crimes that are committed, and I'll say this, it has to be, pointed out that these are just convictions, right? There are half of all the convictions. In Chicago, I think their conviction rate or their arrest rate is like 30-some%. Bro, so most of these crimes and murders don't even get solved. Nobody's snitching. They don't know who did it. So if they actually arrested everybody who committed the crime, I mean, black people probably make up like 70%. Right. And the reason why I believe it could be 70%, because just look at the news. Look at the shooting and the thugging and the killing and the looting and all this stuff. It's mostly by black people.
Right.
And so I think the number is a lot higher than what is being represented. These are just arrests that are made, and that's how they qualify them. Right. So, I mean, it's just completely out of control. Look at the abortions. I mean, we're not repopulating. Right. These Mexicans, and I nothing against Mexican people. I don't care. I mean, I think we all the same in my opinion.
My wife's Mexican.
Right.
She came Mexican.
It ain't no big deal to me. I think each his own. We all guys too. You got your own walk of life.
They all look good to me.
But at the end of the day, man, these other people are coming over here and they getting theirs. And they're probably, you think they have an abortion?
They're not making
abortion clinic?
excuses. Yeah.
No, they got 4, 5, 6 kids. About 15 of them live in a house.
Yeah.
They making their way, and black people still complaining and killing their babies and having abortions and murdering each other, going to prison, not educated.
Let me say this.
We can't make it like
That's
that.
why I say it's not ignorance. It's just, at this point, it's stupidity.
Let me say this. That's like both our wives are from Mexico, right? Yeah.
They're American citizens now.
Yeah, they're American citizens.
They're legit now.
They're legit. But it's just a different culture. Black culture is so just so horrible. But like a Mexican culture, like I go into Mexican neighborhoods, you'll see a 65-year-old man, old man, Mexican guy, Latino, I should say, and he's pushing a cart selling ice cream at that age. Like, I'm having a house built. Who's building it? Who's out there building it? I see none but Latinos. It's just a different culture. That's why they can come here, not speak the language, and still thrive in this country. And black people don't even realize that. They're at the bottom. Illegal immigrants are doing better than them. And they don't speak the language. But it's the white man's fault.
Right.
They don't take no responsibility or accountability for what they're doing.
And the Africans that come over here, like
Yeah,
people
Nigerians.
from Africa,
Yeah.
Nigeria,
They
and
do better.
They come over here because the culture is different. So it's not the skin,
Right.
it's the culture. And we also got to understand this: Jewish people were discriminated against just like black folks. You look at those signs: no
They running
blacks, no
everything.
Jews.
They own everything.
Right. And like this is where I feel like this is what makes me mad. You say that people get in their feelings. It's the truth.
Right.
Here's our new giveaway. Get out of the way. Woo! That's beautiful, right? Dodge Challenger. Hellcat. Look at the tires. It's a V50 in this. It's supercharged. Wide body, it means it grabs the road. You can't flip this. Look how sexy this car is. You can look like Stephen Hawking and still pick up a chick in this car. Go to officialhodgetwins.com. Anything you buy on the site gets you automatic. Enter to win.
No purchase necessary. All word prohibited. See official rules for details. Yeah.